employers. Okay, when you're trying to get a job, you want to know what the employer wants from you. Because if you know what employers want from you, all you need to do is give it to them. So what do you think is important to employers? What you believe the employers want, that's what you believe, your own belief, your belief on what the employers want, or what the employers actually want from you. So which of these two do you think is important? All right, in terms of you landing a job. So what you believe or what employers actually want. So I want you to type into the chat and I'd like to see your feedback. What do you think is more important? Type into the chat. I'd like to see your feedback. What is more important? What you believe or what the employers actually want from you. Okay, let me see the chart. Tracy says what employers actually want. Precious, Adiola says the latter, absolutely. Precious says what employers actually want is more important. What employers want, the last one, what employers want from you, and so on. Phenomenal. What employers actually want from you, absolutely fantastic. All right, so we agree that what employers want is more important than what we actually believe the employers want from us. Now, why is it important for us to know this? Since we've agreed on this, and the question is, what do employers actually want from us? Because like I mentioned, if you know what the employers want from you, all you have to do is what? Give it to them. So give the employers what they want. And employers want only two things from you. And I'm going to share what those two things are broadly. And we start to break it down as we move on, how to get those things, how to ensure you position yourself for the job, and how to acquire the skills in a way that you show the employers that you're the best candidate for that job. So at the minimum, you get that interview. And of course, at the end of the day, you get that remote job and get hired by that organization. So let's assume you want to hire an AI automation engineer. Okay, you work with an organization and you want to hire an AI automation engineer, and you're looking at two candidates. You're looking at Mr. A as one candidate. Mr. A has 7 AI certificates. All right, he has knowledge of ChatGPT, knowledge of Claude, and also he knows how to use Gemini, has knowledge of Gemini. All right, so Mr. A has 7 AI certificates, knowledge of ChatGPT, knowledge of Claude, knowledge of Gemini. And then you have the second candidate, Miss B. Miss B has completed 7 AI automation projects. And she has a portfolio where she has documented these projects. So you can see the projects Miss B has completed. You can go through those projects and decide if you want to hire Miss B or not. Looking at these two candidates, Mr. A or Miss B, who gets the job? Okay, so I want you to type Mr. A or Miss B in the chat. Who gets the job? Just type into the chat, who gets the job? Who gets the job? Mr. A or Miss B? Okay, Adiola says Miss B. Camille says B. Tracy says Miss B. Now, I want somebody who is confident enough to unmute themselves and tell me the reason why Miss B takes the job. Okay, give me a reason why you think Miss B takes the job. So if you want to speak, let me know. I'd allow you on mute. Okay, Tracy wants to speak. All right, so let me see if I can allow you on mute, Tracy, and then you go ahead. Okay, or who is on the call? Alim, if you can allow Tracy to unmute. Tracy, try unmuting and see if you can unmute and tell us the reason why you chose Miss B. Why Miss B? You can't unmute. All right. So I'm going to get one of my colleagues to allow you on mute, or just type into the chat while they're trying to do that for you. Okay, so type into the chat. So we usually mute so that we don't have distractions. But type into the chat, Tracy, why would you go for Miss B? Why not Mr. A? Let's know your thoughts. Let's know your thoughts. Type into the chat. Why would you go for Miss B and not Mr. A? You want an AI automation engineer. Mr. A has 7 AI certificates. All right. Knowledge of ChatGPT and so many other stuff. Why Miss B? Okay. So Tracy says, I think Miss B has evidence of implementing the skills. Adiola says Miss B will get a chance because she has something to show. She has a portfolio. All right. So let's get more feedback. Somebody said Mr. A. Olumide, you said Mr. A with a grin on your face. So I know that you don't truly believe that. Okay. So if you choose Mr. A. Olumide, tell us why you would go for Mr. A. But most of you, at least 95% of you, have chosen Miss B. And Tracy says, I think Miss B has evidence of implementing the skills. Okay. Godfrey says Miss B lands the job because she has hands-on experience, because she has a visible portfolio and a track record. That's fantastic, Godfrey. Okay. Papa Iene says evidence and proof of work would always beat certificates and documents. Absolutely. I totally agree with every single one of you. Now, Mr. A seems to have more. 7 AI certificates, knowledge of ChatGPT, and so on and so forth. However, Miss B has what? To use Godfrey's words, visible track record. Tracy also says evidence of implementing. And what's that evidence? She has 7 AI automation projects that she has completed. 7 AI automation projects. And she also has a portfolio. So that shows any employer that I can see what Ms. B has done before, evidence of what she's done. I can review that and I can tell if she has the skills to do the things I want her to do. Has she done it before? Can she do it for me? And so on and so forth. There is no better place to be than to be in the position of Miss B. And I agree with all of you that have chosen Miss B. Unfortunately, what happens most of the time is people position themselves as Mr. A. And you would forgive me for this. I'm a Nigerian as well. A lot of Nigerians do this most of the time. I want to get that next certificate, the next certificate, and we chase the paper qualification. But the biggest question is, what do employers want from me? Remember, that was the first question I asked. What is more important? What the employers want, what we think the employers want, or what the employers actually want? Most people position themselves as Mr. A. But what gets you the job is exactly what Ms. B has. And what does Ms. B have? She has a track record and she also has evidence that she has done the job before. If you tell any employer and show any employer what you've done, you give them no doubt that you're good enough to do that job. So the two things any employer would want from you, your skills and your experience. And when you combine the two together, skills and experience is what? Competence. Competence equals your skills plus experience. And there is something we say at Analytics, and that is competence over credentials. Competence over credentials. Don't chase credentials. Oh, where did I study? What did I graduate with? And so on and so forth. Always focus on what? Your competence. Do I have the skills to do the job? Do I have evidence that I've done the job before? If you can show this to any employer, they'll be so confident that you know how to do the job. And that's when they want to have a conversation with you. And eventually you inch closer to landing that job. And I'm going to show you people that have done exactly all the things you agreed to today. You agree that you need to know what employers want, and you also agree that you'd hire Miss B ahead of Mr. A simply because Miss B has a track record and Miss B also has evidence that she's done the job before. All right. So the next question we need to ask ourselves is, if I know that competence is what employers want, they want to see that I have done this job before and I can do it for them. How do you build competence to land a role that would enable you compete globally to land a job remotely? Back when I was in Nigeria, when I got my very first job, working for a company in the US, what I did for them was to convert reports that were in Tableau. I converted all their reports for them to Power BI. And the reason why I got that job was very simple. On my LinkedIn, and this was about over maybe 9-10 years ago, they saw all the projects I had posted on LinkedIn. So they saw my LinkedIn profile. They saw I had completed a lot of Power BI projects. I was always speaking about how to do this on Power BI dashboards. When COVID came, I created COVID dashboards and so on and so forth. And people could see what I was building. They could see what I had done. And they reached out to me. Hey, we are looking for somebody who can help us convert reports that were in Tableau, because their legacy system worked with Tableau. But they had implemented Microsoft across the organization, and they wanted somebody that could use Power BI. So convert our Tableau reports to what? Power BI. And that was how I got my very first remote job, working from Lagos, Nigeria, for a company in the US, earning in dollars and spending in Naira. So how do you build the competence? All right. And this is where I want you to, if you have any distraction right now, take away all distractions, and I want you to start to jot things down so you can take something meaningful away from today's session. Okay? To take things away from today's session. So the first thing you need to do to build competence is very simple. And what's that? Learn high demand AI skills that are eligible for remote job opportunities. And it goes without saying, if I want to land remote jobs, I need to have the skills that are in demand. I need to have the skills that employers want to hire me for. If you don't have the skills, you cannot compete. So Miss B doesn't just have the skills, she also has evidence. But where it all starts from is getting into a high demand career path. Because when you do this, you make it 10 times easier for that employer to find you, because they're already looking for you. So you have the skills in that area, you are easily found because we're in a high demand career path. So that's the first thing you want to do. And what are these high demand career paths you want to focus on? I'm going to share 3 of them with you today. And there are a lot of career paths, but I would narrow it down to the 3 most high demand skills that you need to start looking at if you want to land remote job opportunities in 2026. And I'll showcase people that have learned these skills within the space of a few months and they have landed jobs. One of them landed a job working for a company in Canada. He lived in Lagos, worked remotely for a company in Canada, worked with them for 4 months. And after 4 months, he set up his own AI automation agency. The second person I'm going to share with you today, a recent graduate in Anambra, Nigeria, recently graduated, completed his NYSC, and he currently works for a UK-based company, earning tremendous, fantastic salary as a data analyst. And I'm going to share how the both of them got that done. But the first thing they did was to get into a high demand career path. They learned high demand skills. All right. And the reason why these skills are in high demand is simply because there is a major gap today, like I mentioned. As we speak, over 1,600,000 roles are currently available, AI-related roles that are available globally. But you only have 518,000 people that can fit into those roles. Only 518,000. So there is a major gap within the system. So this means that out of the 1.6 million, only about 500,000 people are available to take those jobs. So you'd have a deficit of about 1.1 million jobs. Who would fill these roles? That's the big question. Olusegun filled one of them, the gentleman that got a job as an AI automation engineer with a company in Canada. Frank, the recent graduate, also filled one of these roles. And I'm going to share their stories with you and how they got to do it. And these jobs are available for the taking. For those who want to get these jobs, I'll share the pathway, what you need to do, and how to start landing these opportunities. So 72% of employers cannot find the people with the right skills. They have people that can use ChatGPT, Gemini. When people use different tools to create videos, they post on Instagram, they call that AI skills, but those are not AI skills. Can you use AI to automate a process? If something takes 10 minutes to get done or 1 hour, can I automate the process so it takes just 30 seconds? How do I use AI to build a system that works for any organization, help them do their work a lot better and a lot faster? Okay, AI roles would pay you a lot more than traditional tech roles. The salaries are fantastic, and it takes over 2 months to fill one AI role. Over 2 months to fill one AI role. And this shortage is what makes AI high in demand, very high in demand, because there is a major gap of about 1,100,000 jobs that needs to be filled. And what I want every single person here to know today is every single one of you can fill that gap. Every single one of you. 12 years ago, when I was making my own transition, studying industrial chemistry in the university, graduated from the university, my first job out of the university was as a management consultant. From a management consultant, I transitioned into data analytics. I didn't study anything computer science. I didn't study anything technology, but I was able to do that. But the first thing I did, which is what I'm sharing with you today, is I got into a high demand career path. And I've worked with some of the largest, biggest organizations, not just in Africa, in Nigeria, but across the globe. All right. So some of these roles I'll be sharing with you today are the roles you need to take note of, and you need to start learning the skills. I'll share 6 of them with you, but I'll narrow it down to just 3. And if you pick any one of these 3, you are home and dry. You know that you are in a high demand career path, and all that is left is build the skills and you inch your way closer to landing that job. Every single person in this room today can get these roles. All right. And some of these roles includes the AI data analyst. So this is not your conventional data analyst. This is an AI data analyst, a data analyst that leverages Copilot, leverages Bricks AI, leverages tools like Julius AI, and so on and so forth to get their job done. The salaries are also fantastic, given the monthly pay you can earn as an AI data analyst. Then you have the AI business analyst. These are professionals who would use tools like Rovo, in Jira, to do what? Automate and track the progress of their projects. These are professionals who would automate a process. They look at the start of the process and the end of the process. Where are the gaps and inefficiencies, and how can I make this process a lot faster? Then you have the AI automation engineers or the AI automation specialists. This is one of my favorites, and simply because this is where you have the opportunity to put a lot of things on autopilot, build automated workflows. So nobody needs to sit down in front of a phone when you call. There is usually an AI bot somewhere that picks up the call, and they give you tremendous response. You can build a workflow that helps a small business owner send a message on ChatGPT, upload all the receipts or images of their receipts on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT converts that image into text and stores in a database somewhere. So when you ask a question, how many sales did I make yesterday? You ask ChatGPT, or you ask your WhatsApp. Okay, so you create a WhatsApp bot, You upload images of the invoice you got from your customers, the receipts you got from you gave to customers every single day. You upload those receipts to WhatsApp. WhatsApp would convert it into a database. You can use a voice command to ask, how many sales did I make on Monday? How many customers are owing me money? You can send a text to get a text response. You can use a voice command and you get a voice response. You build workflows that automate themselves. They run 24/7, and you help businesses do things a lot better. You help them do things a lot faster. That's an AI automation specialist. And you can see the salary, fantastic salary, over £6,000 per month, depending on the different roles you get and where you get these opportunities. You have the AI content strategists, you have the AI project managers, and the AI HR analytics specialists. So these are 6 areas, and I'm going to double down on a couple of them. And that's what we have on the next slide. So for those who want to get into a high demand career path, you want to learn high demand skills to land remote jobs where organizations today are looking for you. Number 1 is the generative AI for data and HR analysts. So if you're an AI data analyst today or HR analyst, what you simply do is you use data and AI tools to find patterns, answer business questions. You use these tools to create reports and dashboards and help companies make better decisions. That's what you do. And you have 2 career paths combined into one. So for those of you that have some HR experience or you have HR knowledge, this is the best career path you want to go for, because you learn how to use tools like Excel, but not your conventional Excel. You'd learn how to use copilots within Excel. You'd learn how to use Bricks AI, Julius AI. You'd learn how to use Anything to automate your workflows. So if you have data that comes from somewhere every single week, and you always have to clean that data before you create a dashboard out of the data, how do you automate the process from start to finish? You'd learn how to build amazing dashboards using Copilot in Power BI. You'd learn how to use quadratic AI to do your analysis and so on and so forth. So if you've ever used Excel before or you haven't, but you want to learn how to use data to help businesses answer questions, this is the best career path for you. If you have some HR experience, some HR knowledge, or you're a HR professional today, and you want to move from people saying HR is just a cost center to HR being strategic, you want to add analytics skills, AI skills, then this is the best career path for you as well. That's the first career path you want to look at. You're going to learn how to use Power BI, enterprise AI analytics and deployment. You'd learn how to use different tools to clean your data, analyze the data, create dashboards, and so on and so forth. Then you have the AI for business analyst and project management. Business analyst and project management. So these are professionals who would look at a business problem and determine how AI can solve these problems. You'll gather requirements, improve the processes within this organization, and you'd also get to use different AI tools to manage projects. You'd use tools like ClickUp, Notion. You'd use tools like Jira to track project deliverables. You'd use AI-related tools within Jira like Rovo to deliver an executive summary to the stakeholders. So you can simply write a prompt on Rovo to say, all the projects that currently exist on Jira, I want you to give me a summary of the risk involved and how to mitigate this risk. And Rovo would give you that summary. And you have that to present to management, give your project updates, and so on and so forth. And the third career path is AI automation engineering. And of course, as an AI automation engineer, your focus is on one thing. Your focus is to build automated systems that would use AI to complete repetitive tasks. Okay, let's take, for example, you want to build a system that reviews every candidate CV. So when a candidate sends in a CV via email, you want a bot that you've created to review the CV, match it to the requirements of the job, identify if that candidate meets the requirement, automatically send the candidate an email inviting them for an interview. You can build all of that using a tool like Lindy AI. You're going to learn how to use Lindy AI anytime to build your workflows, Zapier to automate your processes, learn how to connect to multiple data sources and APIs. You'd learn how to use generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and so on and so forth. Your role is to ensure that the business has automation running at the background. And rather than employing multiple employees, you have bots that can do the work that are repetitive, and you make the organization more efficient. These are the three career paths I want you to take note of. AI for data and HR analytics, AI for business analysis and project management, and AI for automation engineering. These are the three career paths. All right. And before we move on to the next slide, I want you to type into the chat, which of these career paths are you interested in, before I come around and show you how to start getting the skills you need to get into any of these areas. So type into the chat if you're interested in the AI for data analytics and HR analytics, AI for business analysis and project management, or the AI automation engineering. Type into the chat. Tracy says AI automation engineering. I'm going to show you a tremendous project, part of the project you're going to work on, and you'd see how, as an AI automation engineer, the type of work that you do. All right, and you clearly see that it moves away completely from, you move yourself away completely from people who say they know how to do AI because they know ChatGPT and they know Gemini. All right. Blessing says HR analytics, AI automation engineering from Good Luck. Rolly says AI automation engineering. Oluwatife, a lot of AI automation engineering. Fantastic. Is this because AI automation engineering pays a lot more in terms of the salary projection? Okay, I can see somebody, Andrew, saying AI, data analytics. Farida also says AI, data analytics. Okay, so let's get right into the rest of our session today. Okay, so how do you become an AI automation engineer? Or the question is, Adeza, has anybody done this before? Has anybody become an AI automation engineer who had no knowledge, no skills? They had never done it before. Absolutely. And that's where I introduced Olusegun. I talked about Segun earlier. Segun's story is very interesting. Segun lives in Lagos. Segun worked for a logistic company in Lagos. He had a background in finance. So he had never done anything related to AI automation engineering. His background was in finance. That's what he studied in the university. And he worked as an operations manager for a logistic company in Lagos. But Olusegun today worked for a company in Canada, worked remotely, earned in dollars while he was living in Nigeria. And how did he do this? November 2025, Olusegun joined the AI automation engineering program in November 2025. And it took him about 2 months to complete the program. He completed the program in January 2026, so at the beginning of this year. The interesting thing about Olusegun's story is the moment he completed his AI automation engineering program in January, that same month, he landed a job with a company in Canada as an AI automation engineer. He worked with the company for 4 months. And I'm going to show you Olusegun's LinkedIn and what it looks like. And perhaps I'll also play a video so you get to listen to Olusegun, so you understand a little bit about his journey and what he was able to accomplish. All right. So within this, he worked for this company for 4 months, from January to April 2026. And that's the role right here, AI automation engineer and a technical assistant. That was the job Olusegun did. He gathered enough money while working for 4 months, earning in dollars, and he set up his own AI automation studio, his own AI automation consultancy. So what Olusegun does today, so you can see this in April 2026, he set up his own company and he helps other organizations do what? Automate their processes. So if you're an organization today, you have a process that is repetitive, you do the same thing day in, day out, you want to automate the process, Olusegun's company can do that for you. And this was somebody who has a background in finance. And in November 2025, he had no skills in the use of AI automation engineering. But today, he didn't just get a job working remotely, he also set up his own company where he helps other organizations automate their processes. And I want you to hear from Olusegun yourself, so you get a feel of how he got to where he got to. All right, from an operations manager to an AI automation engineer working for a company in Canada. So we're going to listen to Olusegun, would hear Olusegun's story and how he was able to achieve this. And then I'll come back and show you what's the second thing you need to do, the third thing, the fourth thing, and the fifth thing you need to put in place in order to be like Olusegun that was able to get this job. What did he do? The first thing is get into a high demand career path. Learn high demand skills that employers are already looking for. And if you find yourself there, you make it 10 times easier to land the job. That was one of the things Olusegun did. He learned what? AI automation engineering, a high demand skill. And that's already positioned him for access to opportunities within that space. All right. So let's listen to Olusegun very quickly. Okay. Then I'm going to come back and I'll walk you through how Olusegun was able to get this job. He's looking like someone I know, Sekina. That's interesting. So let's listen to Olusegun very quickly. I'll first of all play the video, and I want to know if you can hear Olusegun speak. If you can hear Olusegun speak, then I'll stop and I'll replay. Okay? So I'm going to play the video. Just let me know if you can hear the audio, if it's loud and clear. If it's loud and clear, fantastic. I'll keep on playing. And I want to be sure you can hear Olusegun.
Hi, everyone. My name is Olusegun.
Okay, fantastic. You can all hear him. So let's go back. It's a 2-minute video, very straight to the point. And then you get to hear how Olusegun was able to get this job. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Olusegun's story.
Hi everyone, my name is Olusegun Agbalade, and if anyone had actually told me a year ago that I'll be working in tech, building AI automations, I honestly would have actually laughed it out. I started my career in accounting with zero tech background. I had curiosities, I had a lot of self-doubt, but I had this constant feeling that I wanted more. But wanting more will not actually get me there. So I told myself that I needed a structure, I needed guidance, and I needed a clear path in which Tenalytics business gave to me. Over 11 months, I moved from data analysis to data science and now AI automation engineering. It wasn't pretty, to be sincere, it wasn't pretty. There were days I felt behind, there were days I wanted to quit. But with the guidance of my tutor, great tutor, Abdullah Musa, I kept showing up. I kept building projects. And I shared most of those projects on LinkedIn. That changed everything. LinkedIn became my proof of work. It became my portfolio. It became my voice. People could actually see on my profile what I was building, not just read on my CV what I was building. Eventually, it paid off. I landed the tech role not by luck, but by skills that I've gathered over time. So if you're actually watching this and you feel stuck, hear me clearly. Don't give up. Growth is slow before it's visible. Stay consistent because it works. Thank you, Tenalytics Business, for granting me that platform to scale high. Thank you very much.
So that's Olusegun's story, and he had so many instructive moments in what he said. One of the things Olusegun said that struck me was the things you've also alluded to. He had proof of work. He had evidence that he had completed those things before, and he said he always uploaded them on his LinkedIn profile. So his LinkedIn became his proof of work. And we agree that Miss B at the beginning of the session, who had 7 projects she had completed and had a portfolio, would get the job ahead of somebody who only has certificates. So it became very clear that for somebody who wants to land a job like Olusegun did, I need to have proof of work. I need to have the skills. I need to have completed projects. I need to have evidence that I've done those things before. And here's Olusegun's story. Tremendous story for somebody who had not done these things before. But here's Olusegun doing amazing stuff and has built an amazing career for himself. So that's number one. And I'm going to share a couple of other stories so you also get to see if someone like Olusegun has done it, has somebody else done it too? Or is it just Olusegun that has achieved something like this? All right. But before we get there, we need to know what number 2 is. So number 1 is get into a high demand career path. Learn high demand skills that are eligible for remote work opportunities. Number 2 is what? Learn the skills the right way. You have to learn the skills the right way. And a lot of people make a mistake in this particular aspect of learning the skills the right way. So we know that I want to become an AI automation engineer, an AI data analyst, an AI business analyst and project manager, and so on and so forth. And then I go start watching videos. I've done that. I've made those mistakes myself. Okay, when I was also transitioning years ago. So I have 1,000,001 courses on Udemy that I never finished. I had so many things I had done, watched so many videos, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, one thing became very clear to me. Those videos were not helpful. All right? I was not learning the things that was going to give me the opportunity to land the job. It was more confusion for me. And I remember one particular aspect vividly. I was learning SQL as a data analyst, SQL. Okay? And I stumbled on a problem. Instead of using a single inverted comma, I was using double inverted commas. And it kept on giving me errors and errors and errors. And there was no way I could solve that problem. I was stuck with this problem for 2 weeks until I had a conversation with somebody and the person said, your mistake is simply the fact that you are using double inverted commas instead of a single inverted comma. And the moment I realized, I saw that I had wasted 2 weeks of my time trying to figure out a simple problem that I could have addressed easily. And a lot of people are in that same situation. You're watching videos upon videos, you are gathering all the certificates possible, but you don't know how to do the job. Learning the skill the right way is when you learn the skill well enough to know how to do the job on day 1. So when you get hired on day 1, can you do the job of an AI automation engineer? So for somebody like Olusegun, who learned AI automation engineering, and the same month he completed his program, he got a job, and he delivered on that job on the contract for 4 months, and he set up his own company. How did he learn? The best way to learn, you must do 2 things. You must do what? Learn in a project-based environment, which means you are learning by doing the real work. So when you learn, you are learning by building. You are building projects. You are building real automations, and those are the automations you have in your portfolio. So when you learn by doing the job, it's like you learning to become, let's say, a mechanic, for example. As a mechanic, you don't learn to become a mechanic by watching videos. You learn how to become a mechanic by actually doing the work of a mechanic. And that's how you apply the same thing across board. You want to become an AI data analyst, you have to know how to source data, transform your data, analyze the data, visualize the data, and where AI comes in within that process. So you must do the real work, and that's the best way to learn. The second thing is, once you've done that, you must showcase your work to the whole world. You all agreed Miss B would get the job because Miss B had evidence that she had done the job before. And that is where showing what you have built, having a portfolio, shows every employer that you have done that job before. So don't tell people what you can do. Show them what you have done. And that's what your portfolio does for you. This is the best way to learn. If you are learning anywhere else, you are probably getting it wrong. You must learn by doing the job, and you must showcase your work by building a portfolio. And I'm going to show you what a portfolio looks like. All right. I'll show you what a portfolio looks like by clicking on this link. And then I'm also going to show you a project. Somebody's going to come on board and show you an amazing AI automation project, the same type of project you'll be completing. And for those of you who will be getting into AI data analytics, you'll be building projects that looks like this, or projects that look like this. Okay, so this is a project for one of our participants. His name is Chiemere Frank. Chiemere is the recent graduate I talked about. Chiemere is the guy that recently completed his NYSC, and he got a job as a data analyst with a UK-based company. So Olusegun had experience as an operations manager in logistics. Chiemere was a fresh graduate. He got a job as an AI data analyst. This is Chiemere's portfolio. Okay, I want to be sure you can all see the portfolio and what I'm sharing. So let's go through Chiemere's portfolio very quickly. So these are some of the projects he has completed, evidence that he has done that job before. Okay, so I can click on one of these projects that says smoking health risk analysis dashboard. All right, and the way I can click on this, everybody else can click on this and access it as well. So if you're in this session, you haven't filled the attendance form yet, make sure you fill the attendance, so that at the end of the session, you get my slides, you get the recording, and you get every single material that we'll be sharing with you today. Okay, if you haven't done that, make sure you do it. Now let's click on one of these projects. Like I said, we're on number 2, and number 2 is you have to learn the right way. And learning the right way is learning by doing the job. So this is Chiemere, who has completed this particular project. Let's go to the dashboard and let's see what it looks like. This is a dashboard for patients who smoke and how smoking has affected the health and the different organs of these patients. So you can see the heart, 193 patients have their heart affected because of smoking. Right? You can see the average age, the average BMI. You can see the number of the age group and the number of duration, how often they smoke in a day across different age groups, how many cigarettes they smoke. Now I can click on the kidney and it is interactive, it changes. Chiemere has built this and he has put it in his portfolio. Anybody anywhere in the world can see what he has done. This was what that organization saw. They saw the projects he had completed and they were impressed that if anybody can build this using Power BI, then definitely the person has the skills to do the job we want to hire them for. I can click on the lungs and it shows me how the lung has been affected by smoking, the number of patients, the average BMI, the average age, the number of smoking per day, and so on and so forth. Okay, I can go back to the portfolio and pick any other project. All right, I can click on this, for example. This is a project that shows how cancer affects the different parts of the brain, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4. And they're all interactive, they're intuitive. It's not a picture that is static. You can click and interact with it the same way that potential employer would click and interact with it. So I can see grade 1, brain tumor distribution analysis. I can see what the grade 1 cancer looks like in the brain. I can see the different aspects of the brain affected by a grade 1 tumor, which is the pituitary gland, and so on and so forth. I can click on grade 3 and everything changes. It is interactive to show exactly the analysis that Frank had completed. And you know what makes this super exciting? It was completed by a recent graduate, by somebody who just completed his NYSC. He had no clue, had no idea. He joined the AI data analytics program and he started building amazing projects like this. When you complete the project in class, you learn how to build these things. You upload them on your portfolio as evidence that you've done the job. This is grade 4. You can see the grade 4 is largely, the cerebellum is largely affected by the grade 4 stage of the brain tumor, the number of patients that have grade 4 cancer, the average age, and so on and so forth. This is what a portfolio looks like. And this is the best way to learn. So when Frank keeps the link of his portfolio on his CV or his LinkedIn profile, he doesn't need to convince anybody that he can do the job, because everyone can see that he has already done the job. So that's the second thing you must have. The first one is you must learn high demand skills that are eligible for remote work opportunities. High demand skills employers are already searching for. Number 2 is you must learn the right way. By doing what? Learning in a project-based environment, learning by doing the real work, and of course, building a portfolio to showcase the work that you've done. That's how you learn the best way. All right. So during your different programs, depending on the ones you are joining, you'll be completing at least 10 to 15 different projects that you would upload in your portfolio. 10 to 15 different projects. And remember, we all agreed that the project Miss B had completed was the reason why we were going to give Miss B the job ahead of Mr. A. So I'm going to bring in one of my colleagues to come share one project as an AI automation engineer that you would also be working on, and you'd see how amazing the things you get to complete look like. So when you show this to any employer that this is what I've built, they are so confident that you know the skills, you can help them improve, and you have the right skills to do the job for them. And that's what gets you that particular opportunity. All right. So I'm going to share 3, 4, and 5. Those are very straightforward. I'll do that in the next 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'll show you how to start today. So today, Friday, the 7th of August, if I want to land a job as an AI data analyst before the end of 2026, as an AI automation engineer, as an AI data analyst before the end of the year, what do I need to start doing today? All right. I'm going to share that with you, and we'll take questions and answers. But in the meantime, I'm going to bring up my colleague, Alim. Alim is going to come up and show us everything that we need to do in terms of as an AI automation engineer. So Alim, if you're here with us, let me know so you can come up and let's see the type of projects as an AI automation engineer you get to complete. So Alim is right here. So Alim, you have the right, share your screen and let's see the project you'll be sharing with us today. So Alim is an AI automation specialist. Alim is one of the people that would help you build. Alim is one of the people that helped Olusegun get his job working remotely for that company in Canada. They built projects, kept that project in the portfolio, got employers attracted to those projects. During the interview, Alim was one of the people that prepped Olusegun for his interview, and eventually Olusegun got the job. All right, Alim himself also works remotely, working from Nigeria, working for a company also in Canada, working for us, of course, based in Canada. Okay, so let's hear from Alim. Alim, quickly in the next 5 minutes, show us some of the projects that participants here would get to build as AI automation engineers. So feel free, go ahead and share your screen and let's have you.
So thank you very much, Adeza. So I don't need to introduce myself anymore. You've done justice to that. All right, so thank you very much, and thank you for all you do to the tech ecosystem. You keep preaching the AI gospel every day, helping the community. So thank you very much. So let's appreciate Adeza, everyone on call, please. Let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. He's doing a lot for us. All right. So like I said, like you rightfully said, I will be sharing my screen to show us the projects you had to build as an AI automation engineer to also get standouts. So I'll just be sharing my screen very quickly. All right. So yeah. So this is my, just confirm you can see my screen. Okay. So I want to believe my screen is up now. All right. So thank you very much. So this is from building just a chat system, we want to build a system that people can interact using voice. All right. So the future is going voice. That's why you see all the LLMs they are building right now, from ChatGPT, Claude AI, they all integrate a voice system where you can record your voice. You can the system can transcribe your voice into text. You see that in ChatGPT, you see that in Claude AI. All right. So businesses also need this solution on their website, for their chatbot, so that people beyond just chatting with text, people can interact using their natural voice, and get a voice response. All right. So I built a solution for Mama Joy restaurants. So this is built inside Vapi. So Vapi is a voice platform where you can create an agent, an AI assistant inside Vapi. Then you train that AI assistant based on a knowledge base. So all this was done inside Vapi, and I integrate the Vapi into Mama Joy restaurants. So Mama Joy has a website. So I now integrate the AI agent I built inside Vapi into Mama Joy restaurants. So you'll be seeing that practically here tonight. All right. So if I am loud and audible, let me get your best of reactions, everyone, please. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So I'll just present my Vapi screen very quickly. So this is Vapi coming up right now. All right. So on my Vapi screen right now, I can just sign in to log into my Vapi. All right. So I intentionally do this so that I can see how I sign into my Vapi and everything here, so that I walk you through it this evening. So you can all sign up to Vapi and do this after the masterclass. So that means you need to get the materials and everything. So you need to fill the attendance form to get access to the material. All right. So this is my Vapi dashboard coming up right now. This is where I built the voice assistant that we integrate to Mama Joy restaurants. All right. So on Vapi right now, you can see the assistant by our left hand. So we'll click on assistant. So after that, we have the Mama Joy assistant coming up right now. So I'll click on Mama Joy assistant and I will talk to Mama Joy assistant. So this has been built on a system prompt, which is what you're seeing currently right now, a system prompt. And we have also connected a knowledge base to reach Mama Joy restaurant knowledge base. So this is very easy to do for everyone on this call. You just need to learn the right way and you can do it.
Alim, just very quickly. So the knowledge base of Mama Joy's restaurant. Mama Joy is somebody who owns a restaurant. Okay. So many people own restaurants. There's so many restaurants in Africa, in Nigeria, in Lagos, Abuja, and everywhere. So these are small businesses that would need some level of AI implemented within their organization, right?
Yes.
Now built a voice agent to help this Mama Joy's restaurant do amazing stuff. So what constitutes the knowledge base of Mama Joy's restaurant? Just expatiate on that a little bit.
Yeah. So Mama Joy restaurant's knowledge base revolve around their food item they sell, right? So we want to know what they sell in terms of food, right? Jollof rice, chicken, amala, all kind of foods that you may think of. This is what comprises of Mama Joy knowledge base. The prices of the food they have, the kinds of protein they sell, the kinds of drinks, right? All this is what is inside Mama Joy's knowledge base. So whenever you as a customer is interacting with the system or the AI system, it fetch from the knowledge base and give you back as a feedback or as a result. So that is what is inside the knowledge base you are saying. All right. So just very quickly, we can just talk to this AI system right now. All right. So this will come up right now, and I'll just talk with it for like a minute. Then I'll walk you through the website itself, right, where you see how it works. So this is connecting, and I'm making a call right now to Mama Joy's knowledge base. All right. So, all right. So let me just do that again. I'll also show you the website we built for Mama Joy restaurants, where this system is integrated into the website.
Thank you for your kind words. Mama Joy Restaurant is indeed committed to providing a beautiful and seamless experience for our customers. Our virtual assistant, Joy, is integrated into the website to help you with ordering, menu questions, and more, all in a friendly, conversational way. If you'd like to place an order or need information about our menu, delivery, or anything else, just let me know. I'm here to assist you and make your experience as enjoyable as possible. Would you like to see our menu or place an order now?
Yes, I want to place an order.
Wonderful. Would you like to see our menu or are you ready to place an order? If you'd
Yes,
like to browse, I can share details.
I want to place an order right now. So,
That's great. Let's get started with your order. What would you like to eat today? You can choose from our delicious rice meals, jollof rice, fried rice, white rice, hearty Nigerian soups with your choice of swallow, or any other menu item you prefer. Please tell me your food choice.
like you can see right now, this is me interacting with the back end of the voice agent. All right, so I have a website I built for this. I will show you the website of Mama Joy, where we can interact with this back end from the website. All right, so just very quickly, I don't know if you can see. Okay, let me share that. So yes, so this is the Mama Joy's restaurants website right now. So confirm you can see Mama Joy restaurants website. All right, so the voice agent you just see right now has been integrated into this website. So you as a user, you don't need to go to the back end where I went to right now. All right, you can just interact with the website from this end. All right, so right now on the website, I can just come here. I can see the menu. I can see the about us, the AI compatibilities. You can try it out yourself. You can see the various meals sold by Mama Joy, you know, how much is chicken and everything. So we want to talk to the AI inside here. Talk to Mama Joy AI, click on it, and you have a system to start a voice call. All right, we'll start a voice call here. All right.
Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
Hello. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. How are you today? How can I assist you at Mama Joy Restaurant?
Yes, I want to buy jollof rice and chicken.
That sounds delicious. What size of jollof rice would you like? Small, medium, or large?
Yeah, I want to buy a large jollof rice.
Great choice. Would you like to add any extras to your large jollof rice and chicken? We have plantain, coleslaw, or salad available.
Yeah, I would like to add salad.
Perfect. Would you like to add a drink to your order as well? We have Coca Cola, Fanta, Sprite, malt, and water available.
Ordinary water is fine.
Thank you. Can I have your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Alim.
Thank you, Alim. Would you like your order for pickup or delivery?
Yeah, I will pick it up.
All right, Alim. What time would you like to pick up your order?
So I want to pick my order up by 10 p.m. this evening.
I'm sorry. Our restaurant closes at 9 on Mondays to Saturdays and 8 p.m. on Sundays. Would you like to pick up your order earlier?
So I'll pick it up by 9 p.m. then.
Thank you, Alim. Here's a summary of your order. 1 large jollof rice, chicken, salad, 1 water, pick up at 9 o'clock p.m. Is everything correct?
Yeah, everything is correct.
Thank you for confirming, Alim. Your order is set for pickup at 9 o'clock p.m. 1 large jollof rice, chicken, salad, 1 water. Thank you for choosing Mama Joy Restaurant. We look forward to serving you. Have a wonderful day.
All right. So you can see I have now interacted with Mama Joy's website. I didn't have to go to the back end of things to interact. So we build a website for Mama Joy and we interact with the voice assistant inside Mama Joy. All right. So Adeza, thank you very much for this opportunity.
Fantastic.
All right.
Let's show Alim some love. Let's show Alim some, give him a thumbs up for that amazing presentation. In fact, I was just laughing right here, Alim. I didn't know you like jollof rice and salad. And somebody said you should also order sparkling water as well. So thanks a lot for that, Alim. But one thing I also want to, point out is Alim, these are the things you build. Okay, this website was built for Mama Joy. It never existed. You're going to build a website like this. You would automate the ordering process, the process for a customer to order. So Mama Joy doesn't need to worry about somebody picking up the phone and the person is rude to a customer and so on and so forth. And you saw how seamless everything went. This is what I call knowing how to do the job. If you present this to any employer, they would have no doubt that you don't just have the skills, but you've also implemented the skills. Okay, so once again, thanks for that, Alim. You've been very helpful in showcasing some of the things that people get to see, what they get to build when they get to join the program. All right, so I'm just going to show you the rest of the things you need to do to fully land that job. Alim has shown us what we need, the type of things we're going to build. So the next step now is, if I know what to build and I'm going to learn the skills the right way, I learn in a project-based environment, I have a portfolio to show the things I've built. The next question is, what's number 3? What stands me out afterwards? Okay, so let's get right into that. And again, like I said, we'll have the opportunity to ask a whole lot of questions. Okay, so what's number 3? We know number 1, get high demand skills, get into a career path that is in high demand. Number 2, learn the right way. What's number 3? Okay, number 3 is what? Gain foreign work experience. And let me ask this question. If you are considering 2 candidates for a job, okay, you are considering 2 candidates, you have candidates A and B. You are a company based in the US, okay? You are based in the US, United States, and you want to hire somebody working remotely, all right, from Lagos, Nigeria or something. Candidate A currently works in Lagos, Nigeria. Candidate B has experience working for a company, not even in the US, but has experience working for a company in Alberta, Canada. You are the hiring manager in this US company. Who would you be more confident hiring to get this job for this US company, A or B? No sentiment, type into the chat who you think would stand a better chance of landing the job. Type into the chat, A, B. Just type in. I'd like to see your feedback on what you think. B, 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 B. Be all day. That's what Papa Yenny says. Patricia says be. Rolly says be. Blessing says be. And the reason is very simple. Okay. Candidate B has worked in a company based in North America. They've worked, and the US based company would have that belief that if you worked for a company based in Canada, then it means you have some knowledge about the work culture in North America and so on and so forth. And you have some credibility attached to you, or attached to your name, or attached to the type of project that you've completed. And that's why number 3 is very important. Gain foreign work experience. And how do you gain foreign work experience? I've shown you already. Alim has shown you the projects he just showed you on Mama Joy's restaurant. You get to build a project like that. So the projects you complete in class become part of your work experience. So you don't position yourself to say that I'm a learner, or I'm a trainee, or I learned with analytics business. What you get to say is, I worked as a contractor, I worked as a consultant, and I worked with analytics business to build this solution for Mama Joy's restaurant. That forms part of your work experience. So when you've done that, all the projects you complete in class, they become part of your work experience. They get uploaded into your what? Portfolio, and you have evidence that you've done that job before. On your LinkedIn, on your CV, your role would state your role would state something like this: AI automation engineer. For those of you that go for AI automation engineering with analytics, where based in Alberta, Canada. This transforms everything for you. If you're competing with your counterparts in Lagos, Nigeria, in Abuja, Nigeria, in Enugu, Nigeria, you'd rank far above them. So when people ask us the question, how do your participants get jobs easily? How do they get interviews for organizations in different parts of the world? This is number 1 reason. And that's why it's also very important. When you've learned the high demand skills, you've learned it the right way, by learning in a project-based environment and building a portfolio. Number 3, you must show that you have foreign work experience. And when you've done that, what's number 4? You must know where to apply and how to apply to jobs, which is one of the things we also show you how to do. So we show you the general job boards, some conventional job boards that you need to, access to get the type of jobs you want to get. And more importantly, we show you the strategies you need to put in place. If you want to get a job for a company in Canada, for example, like Olusegun, how did he get that job? It was very simple. He wasn't applying to the job. He did not have to apply to the job. So we show you how to pitch yourself to potential employers, looking at the company, researching into the company, anticipating what they need based on your research, and creating something like a pitch deck that will show what you've seen about that organization, setting up a conversation with them and how you can solve that problem for them. They schedule a 15-minute conversation with you, and from there they see how amazing you are, and they start to move you to the next process of an interview, and eventually you get that job working for them remotely. For those who sit at the comfort of their home and just apply to jobs, you'll get a lot of rejections, and you will likely not get that job at the end of the day. So if you want to get jobs that are not conventional, like remote jobs, working for companies in the US, in Canada, working for companies in the UK, and so on and so forth, you have to leverage unconventional strategies. And those are the things we show you how to do. So knowing where to apply and how to apply. And the 5th strategy is what? A job reference. What does this mean? Why is a job reference so important? I'll show you why it's so important. Chiemere Frank, that got that job, he got his offer in May and he started the job in June 2026, just a few months ago, for a UK-based company. For anybody who's lived abroad, for anybody who's worked remotely for a company abroad, one of the things they want to do is they do a background check on you. They want to know if you are who you say you are. You're not a fraud. You are not somebody who is shady. You are who you say you are. So they want to know where you have worked before. Show me reputable organizations where you've worked. And based on that, they can determine if you are somebody they can work with or not. And if you don't have a reputable organization to provide a job reference for you, you're going to find it difficult to keep that job, even if you already have an offer. Okay, so that's where the referencing comes in. We sent a reference on behalf of Chiemere Frank, and that got him the job, to secure the job. Same for Olusegun and the rest. And there's so many. This is Chiemere Frank. I've been mentioning his name so many times. This is Chiemere right here. Chiemere in November, same, just like Olusegun, 2025, joined the AI for data analytics. He completed his program in February, and he got an offer in May. So February, March, April, May, 3 months after completing, he got his first offer as a recent graduate for a UK-based company who moved into Nigeria to set up a solar solution, providing solar opportunities to customers across the eastern part of Nigeria. Frank was able to get that job. So he was a recent graduate. He served in Rivers State. And while he was serving, this was where he was very smart, smarter than his counterparts. He realized that I don't want to be a statistic to the unemployment rate in Nigeria, the opportunities globally. I'm not just going to look inwards in Nigeria. I want to look, into other regions outside Nigeria. So he joined the AI for data analytics program because, like I mentioned, one of the first things you want to do is what? Learn a high demand skills employers want. So while he was serving, he joined us. He has a background in education. That was what he studied in the university. He joined us in November, completed in February this year, 2026. And he got his offer in May, and he started the job in June. He landed his very first role living in Anambra, Nigeria, working for a UK-based company. And his job title is a data survey officer and analyst. That's his job title. I'm likely going to play Chiemere's video. I want you to hear from Chiemere Frank yourself, and you get to see the young gentleman who is doing amazing stuff. I showed you Chiemere's portfolio. The portfolio I showed you earlier, let me see if I can go back there. The portfolio I showed you, this particular portfolio is Chiemere's portfolio, Chiemere Frank. So every single thing from what Alim showed us, when you build projects like that, you upload them into a portfolio. And this portfolio is what employers get to see, and they're confident that you know how to do the job. So I'm going to play a video from Chiemere. It's just about a minute plus, and you get to hear from Chiemere Frank yourself and pick one or two things, and then I'll come back and show you, for you on this call today, how do you get started? How do you have your story told to other people? Like I've told the story of Shegun, I'm telling the story of Frank. How will your story be told before the end of 2026? How did you gain the high demand skills? How did you try to get those jobs available, and so on and so forth? Okay, so let's hear from Chiemere Frank first of all, and then I'll come back and then I'm going to walk you through how to start your own journey today, and I'll take questions for those of you that have questions from me. As usual, I'll play the video and stop. If you can hear the video, give me a thumbs up. If you can't hear the video, and then give me a thumbs down and I'll fix it for you. All right?
Hello, my name is Annie.
Okay, fantastic. So let me take it back. You can all hear the video. I'm going to play the video again. I want you to listen carefully. It's a very short video, but I want you to hear how a recent graduate who served in Rivers State get a job with a UK-based company as a data survey officer and analyst after completing his AI data analytics program with us. All right, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the story.
Hello, my name is Anike Chiemere Frank. I participated in generative AI for data analyst with Analytic Business last year, November to this year, February. I just want to use this opportunity to thank Analytic Business for their support, the encouragement, and everything during and even after the training, for the continuous growth and development that they have provided to me. During the training, a lot was being taught. I actually learned a lot during the training from my coach, and I didn't just stop learning. After the training, I continued developing myself, looking for business brief to solve, applying for some internship which I got, developing myself during the internship, learning as I progress in the profession, keep on practicing, because I understand that in this world of tech, practice is the key of everything. So as I keep on practicing, I was equally applying for roles that I come across with. So based on that, I was able to land myself my first role in the data profession as a data analyst. So I just want to use this great opportunity to thank and acknowledge 10 Analytic Business for their support. Even during the interview, they actually helped in preparing me for the interview and everything. So it's a privilege for me. And also to my coach for his support. Anytime I reach out, he's always there. My coach Pius, I'm really grateful for your support and everything that you have done. Thank you so much. I can't just thank people enough. I am really grateful for all the support so far. Thank you and God bless you. Hello.
So that's Chimere Frank. Very unassuming, but fantastic professional, fantastic gentleman. Recently got a job, doing amazingly well for himself, and so on and so forth. Like I mentioned at the beginning, every single person here today can do it. If somebody like Shegun, operations manager, had never done it before, never knew anything related to AI automation engineering, got to work for a company in Canada as an AI automation engineer. For someone like Frank, who was a recent graduate, currently works for a UK-based company. And the simple question is, if they can do it, can I do it as well? And there's so many other people. You have Pavel. Pavel lived in Cameroon. He wanted to land a job in the US as a healthcare data analyst. What did he do? He joined our data analytics program. We worked with Pavel. We helped him during his interview preparations. We helped him structure his CV, reviewed his CV, his LinkedIn profile, showed him where to apply and how to apply. And Pavel landed a job as a healthcare data analyst with a company based in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, less than 3 months after completing his program. You have Bukola, who was in HR. Bukola joined business analysis. Today, Bukola landed a job in the US as a business analyst sometime last year, July 2025. The links to all these amazing professionals, listening to them, are all here. All you have to do, make sure you don't miss out on filling the attendance. Fill the attendance so you have access to the slides, you have access to the videos and so on, and you can get to listen to them. You get all the materials that I've shared with you so far. You have Ahmed. Ahmed currently is in the UK. Ahmed landed his job in June 2025, and this was the reference for Ahmed. So a lot of people ask, how do these organizations reach out? This is one way they get to reach out. So Ahmed joined data analytics and got a job as a health informatics support worker. And this was the reference the NHS in the UK sent to us. This job also came with visa sponsorship. So what does visa sponsorship mean? For some of you that may ask, visa sponsorship is where an organization gets to hire you and sponsor your visa to stay back in that country. So you might have gone to the UK to study, or you are living in Nigeria, you get that job, and the company will sponsor you to move to the country. That was what happened with Ahmed. Ahmed is currently in the UK, works with the NHS. The NHS sponsored him to work with them. He's going to work with them for 5 years. So you work with the organization for 5 years on a pathway called the skilled worker visa. Okay. After 5 years, you get to apply for what? ILR. ILR means indefinite leave to remain, which means you now have permanent residency in that country. 1 year after ILR, you get to apply for British citizenship. Okay, so this is the pathway Ahmed is currently on at the moment. Got a job with the NHS. If he works with them for 5 years, he gets his ILR, indefinite leave to remain, which is permanent residency. Once he gets that, after 1 year, he can apply for British citizenship. And this all started by doing what? Joining one single program: data analytics. So for those of you that are looking to get into, and there's so many other people, I'm not going to bore you with all the testimonials. You can all go back when you get the slides and you can go through them and see how these amazing professionals have done amazingly well for themselves. And the NHS would reach out. They always want to know, is Ahmed legitimate? Has Ahmed used these skills before? So they reached out to me, Mr. Deza, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Hello, Mr. Deza. The above named has been offered the post of health informatics support worker and has given the permission for us to approach you for a reference. I would be grateful if you could let me have your opinion regarding his suitability. So there's a link attached to this where I get to click on that link and provide details. What's the best way to work with Ahmed, his strength, his weaknesses, the tools and technologies he can use, the type of things he had completed, and just like the project he's completed with us, and so on and so forth. That gets you to secure and keep that job if you have a reputable organization that can vouch for you. All right. And there's so many other professionals. So you don't need to be a tech person to win with AI. You don't need to have a computer science degree, because some people would say, oh, I need a computer science degree. You don't need one. Alim does not have one. Olusegun, that I played his video earlier, did not have one. Chiemere Frank studied education in the university. He did not have one. You don't need a computer science degree. The programs are designed to build your skills from scratch as a beginner to where you start to build amazing projects like Alim showed us today. For some people, the question is, do I need to learn how to code? You don't need to learn how to code. Zero coding. A lot of the things you do, just like Alim showed us how to do, you vibe code for some of them. And this is simply you typing natural language in order to build some of these systems. You use platforms like Anyten, you use platforms like Lindy AI, and so on and so forth, and you're dragging and dropping. But the more important thing you need to do is know how to use those tools and technologies, know what to drag, know what to drop, know where to drop them, and so on and so forth. You don't need to learn how to code in 2026 to thrive with AI. And of course, for some people, they would ask, am I too old or am I too young to get started? Our youngest participants got a job at the age of 19. Our oldest participant at the age of about 52. Age is never a limitation. There is no age ceiling. And more importantly, organizations abroad, in the UK, in the US, in Canada, across Europe, they don't discriminate against you because of your age. All right. Now, 2024 to 2027 is the era of AI. This is the best time to get into the AI space. I transitioned into data analytics about 12 years ago. And at that time, the train had already started moving. And people were talking about, oh, get into data science, data analytics, and so on and so forth. And I decided to take the leap at that point. Fast forward 12 years afterwards, here I am today. Now, the moment of AI is today. Between now and 2027, 2024 to 2027, there is a scarcity right now. It's easier to get into these areas. It's easier to learn the skills. It's more difficult to find the talents, because what Alim showed you today, you can't just go on ChatGPT and write a prompt and create it. No, you have to learn how to use those tools, know what to drag and drop, know how to get the knowledge base into the database, and so on and so forth. It's more difficult to find people that have those skills today. And that is why there's a scarcity premium to getting into AI. Just like there was a scarcity premium for me getting into data analytics in 2015, 2014. All right, there's a scarcity premium today for you to learn AI. All right, in the next 3 to 5 years, from 2027 to 2029, the market starts to fill up. More people would have learned the skills, and the premium starts to reduce. It starts to compress. The demand will not be as high as today. And of course, from 2030 and above, the baseline would be AI. Every organization would expect to have some form of AI skills. All right. So the people that get in today are the ones that will dominate the market in the next 10 years. When Alim started, he said, "Thank you, Adeza, for what you do within the tech ecosystem." We've been here. I've been here as an individual for the last 12 years, as an organization for the last 6 years. The last 6 years, we've been helping people like you make that jump from where you are to the tech ecosystem across the globe, the US, Canada, Europe, in Africa, Nigerians in Nigeria, Nigerians in the diaspora, and so on and so forth, Kenyans, Cameroonians, and so on and so forth. The people that take action today, the people who decide to get started today, are the ones that will dominate the market. You'll be the next person speaking like me in the next 5 to 10 years because you've dominated the space. All right. So just like Olusegun and just like Frank, it only takes 2 months for you to transform your career. Just 2 months, 8 weeks. Week 1 to week 2 is where you start to build and learn the foundations. You build your core skills week 3 to week 4. You work on projects week 5 to 6. And week 7 to 8 is where you start to learn where to apply, making sure your portfolio is in the right place, getting interviews, going for interview preparations, and so on and so forth. And your sessions are designed between live sessions. Every Saturday, you have a live session. You join a live class where you have somebody like Alim teaching you how to build this project, what you need to know, and so on and so forth. Every single live session is also recorded. In case you missed that class on Saturday, there's a recording. You can always go to your classroom and watch that recording. You get to work on hands-on projects. That's number 2. I talked about that in the second strategy. You must learn by doing the work. So you're not just watching videos, you're not just joining classes, but you're working on hands-on projects. And of course, you have a community of people that are trying to do the exact same things you're looking to do, and you have access to mentorship. So what does a classroom look like? What does a classroom look like? What do you get to do every Saturday? What's the timeline of how you get to learn? Your classes run from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday. So 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, you have a class. You join that class every other day on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday at your own convenience, anywhere, anytime. You can get to watch your Watch Me Do It videos. These are self-paced videos you can watch on your own in the learning management system. You get to solve problems and so on and so forth. So 6 weeks, you get to learn in class. 2 weeks, you have your capstone project. So the next 2 months is extremely critical to you making that jump, that leap in the right direction when it comes to your career. Okay, so between August, September, and October, when you'll be wrapping up, you have more than enough time to start to apply to jobs within different organizations and also organizations even outside Nigeria and outside Africa as a whole. The next cohort starts on the 8th of August, tomorrow, 8th of August. So you are here on the 7th of August. In the next 24 hours is when the next cohort would commence. All right. And you have the opportunity to start your journey today. Remember at the beginning of the session, I mentioned that at the end of the session, by the end of the session, you know exactly what you need to do. Number 1, get into a high demand career path that is eligible for remote work opportunities. Number 2, learn the right way by learning in a project-based environment and building a portfolio to showcase what you built. Number 3, gain foreign work experience, because those organizations would want to see that you worked with a reputable organization in North America, in their own region, and so on and so forth. Number 4, know where to apply and how to apply. And number 5, last but not the least, is references. You must have a reputable organization that can vouch for your skills and vouch that you're the right person for this job. These are the 5 strategies you need to put in place. And you are in a unique position today. You have a unique opportunity to start immediately tomorrow, the 8th of August, Saturday, the 8th of August. And what we've also done to make it easy for as many people, because we have very limited slots, given the fact that we have just 24 hours to the next cohort, we partnered with the Oluwase. Some of you, if you joined this session as a result of the Oluwase, just give me a thumbs up. So I know those of you that came from the Oluwase, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so I can see some of you here today. So what we did to make it easier for people to join is we partnered with the Oluwase to give 40% off your payment. Okay, 40% off your payment. And this is simply amazing. So with a partnership with the Oluwase, that will be covering 40% of your payments. And what does this translate into? It simply means that instead of paying the original amount of 250,000 to get into the program, you get to pay just 150,000 naira. 40% is already covered and taken care of because of the partnership with the Oluwase. And what does this give you? It gives you 8 weeks of intensive training. You build amazing projects, real hands-on projects that you can showcase to anybody and they are impressed. You also have LinkedIn optimization. We optimize your LinkedIn, because when you listen to Olusegun and he said his LinkedIn profile was his portfolio, he always updated. We show you how to use your LinkedIn profile as a major tool to attract the biggest and the best organizations globally. We help you review and revamp your CV. When you have an interview, because when you have the right LinkedIn, you have the right CVs, you know where to apply, how to apply, interviews will start to come in. We help you prep for those interviews, all right? We show you how to build a portfolio, upload your projects to your portfolio. We provide you with references, all the things I've shown you so far. You have a mentorship session, which is where you have me, your mentorship, you have the co-founder in your mentorship. We bring in other industry experts from across the globe to come show you, hold your hands, answer the questions you might have in terms of landing a remote job. People that are successful, that have done the things you're trying to do, they come to show you exactly what you need to do. And of course, you have lifetime access to the alumni community. So once you're a part of the community, you have lifetime access to that community. And all this covering 40% of your payment, you only get to pay 150,000. And to even make it easier for you to get in, for those of you that are ready to start tomorrow, Saturday, the 8th of August, there is a further offer that I have for you, which is rather than paying the full amount for 150,000, you can get in with just 50,000 deposits. So you make a first installment of 50K and you spread your remaining balance before the end of the program. All right. So if you ask me the question, Adeza, what does it take for me to start? Like I said at the beginning, before we wrap up, I'll show you exactly what you need to start your journey. And this is what it takes for you to start, the investment you need to make in your career to get started, just like Olusegun did, and just like Chiemere Frank did. He was a core member, and from the money, I don't know how much the NYC pays now. I think it's less than 150K. But from the money from Chiemere's NYC payments, he registered and he joined. And he's grateful for doing that today because he was able to land a job just after he wrapped up his NYC, working for a UK-based company. So all it takes for you to start is just 50,000, and I have just 10 slots available. Okay, so this is where I mentioned we don't have enough slots to cover everybody. We have just 10 slots available. So it's a first come, first serve basis. First in gets the opportunity, especially for those who came from the Oluwase. So if you came from the Oluwase and you want to be a part of this, you can make your first installment of just 50,000 to get started. I'll show you how to do that step by step. And I have just 10 slots available. So before the end of my session today, I would have covered all my 10 slots. And I'll do that as I answer the question. I'm going to, cancel the number of slots available until I'm able to cover all the 10 slots. So my colleagues would share the link for you to register. For those of you that are ready to start, the link would be in the chat. All you need to do is go to that link, click on it, and I'll show you exactly what you get to see. So when you click on the link, you'd see something like this. It takes you to the page. You'd see the different courses. All right, you can select any of the programs you're interested in. For those of you who said you're interested in AI automation engineering, all you need to do is click on that. You're interested in AI for business analysis and project management, you just click on enroll. You're interested in AI for data analytics and HR, you click on that. So let's say I'm interested in AI automation engineering or AI for data analytics. I click on enroll. It takes me to the course page. I can read about the course and so on. And all I need to do is I click on choose my payment plan. So here I can select 2 payment options. All right. If I'm going to make a full-time payment today, the Oluwa Shades partnership has covered 40% already. Instead of 250, you get to pay 150. But if I'm making a one-time payment, I get to pay just 120,000. So you get an additional 30K discount. That's simply amazing. All right. So all you need to do, if you click on that to make a full-time payment, all you are paying for all the amazing stuff I've shared so far is just 120. And for those of you who want to take advantage of the flexible installment option, you can go for that. Select 3 installments, you can split your payments into 3 parts, pay 50K today. You start your very first class tomorrow, Saturday, the 8th of August, and you have classes for the next 2 months where you complete amazing projects and so on. And you can spread your payments in 3 installments, essentially. So I'll come in here and I'll select the August cohorts. Okay, I want to make payments in 3 installments, for example. And then I select my currency. Okay, I want to pay in Naira. I select Naira payments. And I click on start. Okay, start with 50K. So the moment I do this, it will require me to, set up an account and all of that. And once I do that, set up an account, it takes me to Paystack, and I go ahead and I can make my payments using Paystack to get my journey started. And the moment I complete my payment using Paystack, it takes me to my LMS, the learning management system. I'll show you what the learning management system looks like. So you can go to your lesson videos. So this is for those that are registered for AI automation engineering. So if I go to AI automation engineering, I can start to see the videos, the classroom, and every single thing I need to do. Okay, so let's say a class holds on Saturday, a Saturday session. This is the Mama Joy restaurant. Remember, Alim came to talk about Mama Joy. It was a project that was done in class. So people have built all these things that Alim came to show you. And that's how your session would run. So I can go to my different classes. I can see what happened on Saturday. If I missed the class, I can come here, click on the class recording. I can watch what happened on that day. I can see the knowledge base from Mama Joy restaurant and so on and so forth. And that's how your Saturday sessions would hold from time to time. Okay, so you get immediate access into the LMS the moment you complete your payments. And we get to see you tomorrow, Saturday, for your very first session. All right. So I'm going to take questions for those of you that have questions for me. And before we wrap up today. So while I was speaking, 2 payments came in already. Okay, 2 payments came in while I was giving my presentation. So I'm just going to cancel that out, which means I have just 8 slots left from anybody here on this call who will be starting their journey tomorrow, the 8th of August. So in the meantime, while that is happening, if you have questions for me, you can type it into the chat and I'll pick questions from the chat and answer. For those of you that are not entirely sure if I should go for AI data analytics or HR, you're not entirely sure if I should go for AI automation engineering, you're not entirely sure if you should go for a particular program, type it into the chat. Let me know what you've done over the last 2 years. Are you a recent graduate? Do you have experience in this? Did you study this, and so on? And I'll guide you and tell you the career path you need to focus on to get the very best results of the program you decide to go for. Okay, so just type that in the chat and I'll be very happy to help out with any question that you have. Okay, so let me check the chat to see if we have questions coming in. So one of the questions that was part of the questions that people would have, I've addressed some of them, but some of them also include, is this something I can do? What if I don't get a job? So those are some of the concerns people have. So I'll try to address some of these concerns before your own unique question starts to come in. All right. So some people don't have time. On Saturdays, I have engagements. I'm not entirely free. That's why Saturdays are for your live sessions. And those live sessions are also recorded. In case you missed that session on Saturday, you can always go back, watch it, and everything that was done, you get to do that as well. And during the week, on Wednesdays, you have something called a technical support session, TSS. And this is a session where you join a live set. It's a live session as well. So you missed the class on Saturday, you've watched the videos, but you have questions. On Wednesdays, you join a technical support session and somebody will guide you on the areas where you're confused and are not entirely sure of what to do, and so on and so forth. Okay, for some people, the question is, I don't think I'm ready. Okay, I'm not sure I'm ready, and so on. I feel like this is so complex or complicated for something that I can do. The program has been designed, the curriculum was designed with the absolute beginner in mind. So we know that majority of you are beginners, you've not done this before, and that's how we designed the curriculum to cater to people like you that would ask all the questions. We take it from the nitty-gritty, from the beginning, and we build our way up to where you start to build amazing stuff. Okay, and for some of you, what if it doesn't work for me? It's a question a lot of people have. All right, we have people who have completed the program and gotten jobs, over 4,000 plus people, and they cut across multiple locations, from Lagos to the UK, to Canada, to the US, to Cameroon, to Kenya, and so on and so forth. So it's a program that works. It's a strategy that we've put in place. If you do 1 to 5, the way we do it at Analytics, you will get the right results, the right outcome out of your investment. Okay, and for some other people, the question is, 150K is a lot of money. Yes, it is. However, the return on investment when I get that job is in millions per month. My first month's salary already covers the entire investment that I made. So if I have the opportunity of landing a job that pays me as little as $1,500 per month, $1,500 is 2.4 million naira. If I get a job that pays me 2.4 million per month, and I paid 150K to learn the skills to get me that job, that's almost 16 times return on my investment. And for anybody who wants to grow in their career, that's something that you realize that that's the investment I need to make. And I already have the opportunity of getting in easily by simply making an installment payment as well. So these are some of the questions we usually get. And just to address some of those questions, and again, two slots are gone. I'm just going to confirm how many slots we have left while I take questions in the chat. So if you have questions, please go ahead, ask your questions. Pearl is asking, how can I pay if I don't know the cost to join? My experience is in sales for over 16 years. So Pearl, this is what you need to do. The program starts tomorrow. Okay, For anybody in sales, I have a recommendation. I'll give you my recommendation. I want you to think about it, and I want you to join a class tomorrow. Okay? Now, depending on how that class goes, if you feel I need to be, oh, maybe I chose, Adeza suggested this particular career path for me. However, in joining that class, I think I'll do better in another area. You have the opportunity to change. Okay, because you've paid for one program today doesn't mean you're stuck with that. Okay, so for 2 weeks, you have the opportunity to change and switch to another program, and we make that arrangement for you. Now, for somebody with experience in sales, one career path that I would always suggest, because we've seen that happen so many times, that is sales as your domain experience or domain knowledge plus what? Data. To sell to people, there are so many things data analytics adds to the sales skills. Customer segmentation, you need to know the type of customers you are selling to in the first instance. What's their demography? Where do they live? What are the different buying patterns of these type of customers? How do I build a model that properly segments customers in a way that I can tell the particular offer to give this customer in order to get them to buy? All right, and you already have the experience in sales. All you need to do is couple that with what? Data analytics. So if you ask me the program that will be the best for you, Pearl, that would be what? The AI, data, and HR analytics. So for those of you that want to focus a little bit on HR, maybe you have HR experience today, you'll have HR projects that you get to build. But for somebody like Pearl, who has experience in sales, Pearl, your name sounds very familiar. I think, have you joined Analytics before, one of our programs? Just type in a yes, because that name sounds very familiar. So for someone like Pearl, who has experience in sales, then I would say what you need to do is add AI, data analytics, to your sales skills so you can do different types of analysis. For example, basket analysis. And people ask, what does basket analysis mean? I'll explain. So let's say you go to Walmart, or let's use ShopRite, for example. Someone like Pearl, who has data analytics skills with sales experience, would analyze the buying patterns of customers. So when a customer goes into ShopRite and they buy maybe a book, when they buy that book, what's the next thing they buy? So maybe a customer buys a book, and after buying a book, they buy a file. And after buying a file, they buy markers. I'm just giving examples. So someone like Pearl would get that data, analyze the data to see the buying patterns of customer. So if a customer or multiple customers doing the basket analysis, that is, what do they have in their baskets? They have a book, they have files, they have markers. They buy a book, the next thing is they buy a file, they buy markers. That's the pattern you've noticed. What do you do? How is that relevant to ShopRite? Where they stack the different books they have, beside it, you would recommend, because we've seen so many customers, after they buy books, they go ahead to buy files, they go ahead to buy markers. You arrange the supermarket in that way. So when you have books, right beside it, you put your files, right beside it, you put your markers. So by default, you are encouraging those customers, just like your previous customers, to buy the books, buy the files, and buy the markers. And the only way you can know the buying patterns of customers by doing something called basket analysis. So these are some of the things you'll be doing, some of the analysis you'll be carrying out for someone like you, Pearl. And that's why my recommendation is for you to go for the AI data analytics program. And I hope that helps. Adedamola says, payment error, this cohort is not currently open. And that's simply because it's very close to registration, to the commencement of the cohort itself. Okay. And that's why I'm likely getting that Adedamola. So what I want you to do, Adedamola, is You can send a message to this number and somebody would help you out, with solving that. Okay. And for anybody who's made payment, for example, you can just send a screenshot of that payment to this number right here. And one of my colleagues would help you out as well. So Tolulope, you can help Adedamola out. He's having errors in making payments. And let's see. So I have 4 slots gone. And I have just 6 slots left while I take questions. Okay. I think that helps Pearl. Pearl says, okay, thanks. Thomas is asking, I'm Femi. Okay, that's Thomas Olua Femi. Graduated last year, studied mass communication. I don't know which program to join. So Thomas, I'd recommend 2, and I want you to decide on one. Okay, I'd recommend 1 simply because of its ease of getting into. And what I mean by that is, as a recent graduate, it's exciting when you start building those amazing stuff, just like Chiemere Frank. And if you listen carefully, you'd have heard the career path Chiemere Frank chose. Okay. So I want to write. So 4 slots are gone. So Oluwafemi is what I want you to consider. Chiemere Frank did the AI, data analytics. And I recommend that to recent graduates because it's exciting. So you have a lot of, for somebody who is a recent graduate, there's a lot of excitement in you when you build things, and immediately you build, you can see the results of what you've done, the impact of what you've done, and also the ease of you getting to do that. So you can see the return on your investments immediately. All right. So that's why I would recommend that for a recent graduate like you. Oluwafemi. Another aspect that gets you tremendous results, just like the AI data analytics in terms of excitement of what you've built, is what? AI automation engineering. There is none of these 2 that you would decide to do as a recent graduate to Oluwafemi that are not going to thrive and do, amazing stuff. Okay, so AI data analytics or AI automation engineering, these are the 2 areas I'd suggest that you join. Now, why am I not suggesting AI, business analysis, and project management? It is the excitement factor that comes with it. So as a business analyst, as a project manager, you're not necessarily building, you are simply doing what? Managing projects, managing people, giving presentations on project updates. You are interacting with different stakeholders, having meetings, interviewing people to gather requirements, and so on and so forth. Okay, it's an exciting career path, but not for somebody who is a recent graduate like yourself. Okay, you do well in it in terms of understanding what is required, in terms of the skills and everything, but in terms of the actual execution of the job, you'd get far more excitement as an AI data analyst or an AI automation engineer. So it's now dependent on you to choose one of the 2 out of what I've recommended. And either way, you will find yourself in a career path that is super high in demand and a career path that employers are actually looking for candidates in. Okay, Pearl Amori, I know you, and that name very familiar. Okay, for a fashion brand, what program do you suggest? So what I'll suggest for you, Omotayo, as for a fashion brand, is AI automation engineering. All right. And the reason why I would recommend that for you is I was having a conversation with somebody who joined our program. He lives in the US and he owned a pizza store. Pizza. Okay, he owned a pizza store. Now, after working on that project that looks like Mama Joy's project, he built a system that could take the order of pizza. So normally, if you want to order pizza, for example, you go to Uber Eats, you order pizza, they deliver the pizza to you and all of that. But what if you just want to talk to somebody and say, hello, I want extra cheese, I want pepperoni, or I just want cheese pizza. I don't want any toppings. I want extra cheese, feta cheese on my pizza, and so on and so forth. You want to talk to somebody. So he built a system like that for his own pizza business. And guess what? other pizza businesses started to reach out to him to say, we like your system, and is there a way we can integrate into this system so our customers can also use the same automation? So he's even in a situation where he's considering licensing that application out to people. And I see the same thing that can happen with you as a fashion brand. So say you build an automation where your customers at the comfort of their home can take pictures and they get automated measurements. It's something you can build. They get automated measurements. You can measure their arm length and so on. You don't have to physically go to them to measure them. Imagine building something like that and giving access to other people within the fashion industry, or you keep it to yourself as a unique advantage, a unique selling point for your business, or you can also give that to other people to license and you get paid for them using it. A subscription model, for example, per year, per month, depending on what you want to do. So that's why I suggested AI automation engineering, looking at the fact that somebody who owned a pizza business was able to do something similar. And I hope that helps and that makes sense. Okay. Adiola is saying, I'm a student nurse in her final year. Data analytics, AI data analytics, any medical professional, if you are a student, if you are a medical professional, you've studied anything medically related. So maybe you studied nursing, you studied biomedical sciences, anything in the medical space. I always recommend AI data analytics, and that's simply because the roles within the space is unbelievable. Healthcare data analysts, health informatics professionals, healthcare informatics. I showed you somebody who got a job as a healthcare informatics support worker, Ahmed. Health informatics support worker. Ahmed got this job with the NHS simply because he did what? Data. Okay, and he works with the NHS. The NHS is the largest recruiter of talent in the public sector in the UK. Okay, and he got that job, visa sponsored job. And it's something we always recommend to healthcare professionals, all right? So there are so many roles: healthcare reporting analysts, pathology data analysts, clinical data analyst. These are some of the roles you can start to compete for somebody who has medical knowledge or medical experience, healthcare knowledge, healthcare experience as well. I hope that answers your question, Adiola, and I hope that helps as well. Okay. I have just 4 slots left. I think 6 slots are gone already. I have 4 slots left. I'm going to take questions. Okay, sorry, I did this. I have 4 slots left. So 7, 8, 9, 10 are the only slots left for those who will be starting tomorrow, the 8th of August. Pearl is asking, currently doing a course in project management. That's why I was a bit confused. Okay. So for someone like Pearl, I recommended for sales, I recommended data to you, but there is something I always like to mention, which is I can recommend anything to you based on your experience or based on what you want, what you've done before and so on. But what you want to do also matters. Okay, your education also matters. Just like I recently advised Adiola, who is in nursing, and I told Adiola, because you are in nursing, this is what you should do. I recommended that to you, Pearl, because of your sales background and where I think you get the best convergence of skills. Sales plus data. Now, if you are doing project management at the moment, the question is very simple. What career path do you see yourself in the next couple of months? Are you headed towards project management, or do you want to do something else entirely? If what you want to do is project management, you want to get into a project management role as an agile project manager or an IT project manager and so on and so forth, then I would recommend that you go for the AI business analysis and project management program. But if it's just based on, I just want to explore, I have experience doing this, and I want to know what skill will complement my already existing knowledge or experience in this area in sales, that will be data analytics. Okay, so you have to make that decision to say, in the next couple of months, what I want to do is project management. I want to work as a project manager. There are roles within where I stay. I've been seeing a lot of project management roles, and I want to get into that space. I'm currently doing a program in project management. Then it's a no-brainer that you go for the AI project management and business analysis program. Now, if all you want to do is, this is what I've done before in the past, and I just want to know the skills that'll complement what I've done in the past, then the skills that'll complement your sales skills would be what? Data analytics, AI, data analytics. I hope that answers your question. Let me see. Zainab has a passion in teaching. What do I go for? That's a bit difficult to recommend, because I can tell you what other people have done, okay, in the past as teachers. We've had a lot of teachers. In fact, Pavel was a teacher. This gentleman I shared, he was a teacher in Cameroon. Okay, Zainab, if you see my slide, you'd see Pavel moved from a classroom teacher in Cameroon to a healthcare data analyst in the US. All right. So one of the things we've seen with teachers and the program they've joined, and they have been so successful, is the data analytics program. A lot of teachers have gotten into data analytics and they've gotten tremendous success out of it. And Pavel is a testament to that. Okay, so Pavel was a teacher, a high school teacher in Cameroon. He taught physics to high school students. And today, he's a healthcare data analyst in the US. How does a teacher become a healthcare data analyst? Very simple. So you saw the projects I shared. The projects I shared, Chiemere Frank's project. I shared a project on smoking analysis, how smoking affects the lungs, the kidney, and so on. This is a healthcare related project. If I go into an interview with the NHS, or I go into an interview with the Arizona Community Physicians, or I go into an interview with Alberta Health Services, and I speak to them about how smoking affects the lungs, how smoking affects the heart, they would know that I have skills and I have knowledge in healthcare analytics. Same with the project on the brain tumor distribution analysis. Anybody who listens, okay, to me speaking about how the brain is affected, how the different parts of the brain is affected by cancer, the brain tumor distribution analysis, the different grade 1, grade 2, and so on and so forth. If I find myself in an interview for a healthcare related organization and they listen to me, they would know categorically that I have the knowledge and I have the skills. Okay, and that's how a teacher can become a healthcare data analyst, because he worked on healthcare related projects, and you would also get to work on projects like that. So for somebody who has a passion for teaching, all I'm simply saying to summarize my thoughts is we've seen a lot of teachers who have gone ahead to do data analytics and have gone ahead to get tremendous success out of it. And I think you can also do the same. So for some people, Pearl is saying she's having some issues or challenges with the payment. So I think because of the volume of people trying to pay, there's a bit of a lag, but that has been sorted out. So if you try it now again, Pearl, that should address the problem. Okay. Eloho is asking, are there courses for total beginners with a background in the said field? Let's say theory background. All the programs are designed for beginners. There's no prerequisites. You don't need to have studied this or have done this to be in any of the programs I've shared so far. Amari, I hope I answered that question. Okay. So for those of you, okay, Uche posted that already. So Uchechuku made a post to say that the August cohort has been activated. So because it's so close to the cohort itself, just a few hours to the 8th of August, for those of you starting tomorrow, that's why you had a slight issue with the payment, activating the cohort so you can go ahead and make payments, and also the volume of people trying to pay as well. All right. Let me see. There's a question that I've missed out on. If you have questions I haven't answered, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat and I'll answer every single question. Now, what I want you to also do before you leave is, you have a friend, you have a colleague, somebody who might be interested in getting this and so on and so forth. What I want you to do is share the message with them. In addition to that, I want you to follow us on LinkedIn. So go on LinkedIn and search for Tenalytics Business. Okay? Search for Tenalytics Business, and also Adaiza Suleiman. Follow me on LinkedIn. So you're one of the few people that get to see the updates and the amazing stuff that we are building, and you never get to miss out on that. So if you go to my profile, for example, you'd see me with the white shirt. Go to the profile, you'd see all the posts I've made recently, add me to your connection, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I want you to get to do that. All right. So these are the different, you see the amazing posts. This was 2 months ago when we attended the Vancouver Web Summit. The Web Summit in Vancouver, tremendous, fantastic event. And that's me and the co-founder, Ifemena, attending the Web Summit in Vancouver. Okay. Look for Tenalytics Business as well and follow Tenalytics Business. All right. You also get to see people that are posting, people that are building. This person posted 8 hours ago, Loa Shion, talking about what she's been able to build and so on. This is Michael, posted 4 weeks ago, and you'd see people building amazing stuff, just like you would start doing in a couple of weeks. All right. Follow Tenalytics Business. And this is Zainab. Okay, also posting about what she's building with Tenalytics Business as well. And this is part of how people start to see what you do and they get interested in your journey. They reach out to you and you eventually get those opportunities. Okay, so as I end my session today, I'll just see if I have any more questions in the chat. Any question that I haven't attended to? Must we have laptops? Absolutely. You need a laptop to be in any of the classes. Any single class I've mentioned today, you need a laptop. So what Alim showed you, you're going to build that using different tools and applications on your laptop. Same for the AI data analyst and HR. Same for the AI business analyst and project manager. Okay. So a laptop is your tool. That's what you use to build and design everything you want to do. Okay. So I think those are all the questions I have in the chat for today. All right. So tomorrow, 8th of August, I'll be looking forward to welcoming every single one of you. Will there be another webinar for the September cohorts? We have cohorts from now till December. The difference is you would see me this time, this time next week. But the fees you'll be seeing here, just to preempt you, would be totally different. So you're not going to see 150K anymore. You're not going to see 250K anymore. You'll be seeing your payment in dollars. Okay, far more than what you have right now. So you are getting, this is the last time we will be selling at this particular fee. And you're getting this based on what the Oluwase covers and also the discounts we have available for you. So for those of you that register, when you see us holding this next week for the September cohorts, it's a total different fees you would see. And that's when you would appreciate the fact that you got to start and register at this fee right now. Okay, and all you need to do is get in at 50K. That's all. So we have cohorts from now to December. The only difference is the discounts will be totally different. All right, the offers you have will be totally different from what you have now. This is the best price you'd ever get it in 2026. Nothing lesser than that. All right. Having said that, for those of you that have stayed from now to the end, if you haven't filled the attendance, make sure you do that so you get my slide, you get all the materials I'll be sharing with you. And I want to say thank you for joining us today and enjoy your weekend. Okay, and enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers, everyone. And since we don't have any more questions, have a wonderful day ahead of you.